Hey guys, Disler Magic here, and it's time finally for another overlooked but awesome card, and this one is back to the roots. This isn't like, hey, go put it in your deck. This card is just awesome because it's awesome. It's honestly not even a good card. I mean, there's some cool combos you can do with it, but other than that, it's just cool because it's cool. Now here's how you know this card is very unique, very stylistic, very flavor heavy, and very crazy. It was printed in the Mind vs. Might dual deck. You know, it's actually kind of weird because I didn't think that came out yet. I thought that was going to come out a while from now, but apparently I just missed it. I don't know. Must be like WPN only or something because my vendor never called to ask me if I wanted any. Whatever. It was also printed in Planar Chaos, which that set was really planarly chaotic. So this has all the markings of a crazy freaking card, and yeah, it does. I'm of course talking about the legend Shivan Meteor. First of all, let's look at the artwork before I even show what it does. So it's a 5-cost sorcery, so that kind of sucks. It's an uncommon, whatever. But look at that artwork. I mean, that is like the coolest thing ever. If this was a movie, I'd say nice effects, you know? So, I mean, it's got like the smoke trail. It's kind of breaking up. It's leaving smoke behind it. The color gradient on the heat. And then there's kind of like a heat overspray, like when a space shuttle returns through the atmosphere. Just very accurate, very well done. Oh my god, do I love this. Now, I don't know anything about MTG artists. I know a lot of people get way into that because the art of MTG is freaking amazing. But this one just says Chippy. It was just Chippy. Not a first name, not a last name necessarily. I'm not even sure. Just Chippy. So whoever you are, Chippy, love this card. This is probably in like my top 10 favorite artworks for sure. And since I think Mind vs. Might was supposed to kind of have something to do with Amonkhet, it looks like a meteor breaking through the shield around the main city in the storyline of Amonkhet. I believe they called the shield the Hekma. I swear, every time I hear that, it sounds even more Jewish, and it's supposed to be Egyptian. I don't know, whatever. So then you got that one guy sitting there, like, I don't know if he's like a Minotaur or a wizard. I don't know what's going on there, but he's like, oh, crap. And somebody must have really not liked him because there's a giant meteor coming at him. Now, how strong and dangerous and damaging could this meteor be? Well, first of all, it's a red sorcery for 5, so take a guess. But also, it's everybody's favorite number. Shivan Meteor deals 13 damage to target creature. Wizards has some kind of strange fetish for putting the number 13 on cards, and not just in the Trisk Decaphobia focus set. They've been doing it forever. It's just, you know, Tragic Slip. That's literally the only other example I can think of. But yeah, 13 is just a fun number. Virtually nothing in the game can survive 13 of something, especially damage. So whenever they print, like, deal 13 damage to target player, what they really meant was kill it, but, you know, that's boring. So I just love 13 damage anything. Now here's the fun part. Okay, you don't want to put a 5-cost sorcery when you could probably just put, like, a 2-cost sorcery, like, I'm trying to think what the hell that one that everybody just played was. You know, it costs, like, 1 or 2 or whatever, it did 5 damage to creature without flying. Yeah, that'd probably be a more appropriate card for your deck. Except that this has Suspend 2, 3. Okay, Suspend 2 costs 3, I mean. So, for red, colorless, or I should say generic, whatever, you can suspend it for 2 turns and then nuke them. Now, I've never actually played a Suspend deck, but my understanding of it is you don't have to target it until it goes off. That's because exiling a card with Suspend is not casting it. It's like an ability of the card, sort of. Strangely, putting it on Suspend doesn't even, like, that action doesn't even go on the stack. Very strange. It can't even be responded to either. It's like equivalent to putting a land into play or tapping a land. It can't be responded to. So as far as I know, you don't have to pick the target until it goes off. So they could have nothing on the battlefield. You could throw a Shivan up on Suspend and, you know, what are they going to summon? Like, they're not going to summon like a 7/7 Sphinx because they know it's going to get blasted by a Shivan Meteor. I would put this in a commander deck so damn quick. Oh my god. Especially multiplayer, because if you don't have to pick the target, hey. In fact, I don't know why I'm saying I'm not sure. I read the ruling and it says you don't have to pick the target until the spell goes off, so yeah. Now the one drawback of this card is if there are no legal targets available, And I think also you can just choose this. Like, if only you have a creature on the battlefield and they don't, I think you could just choose not to cast it. It remains in exile and doesn't go to your graveyard. So you can't, like, bring it back to hand and take a second shot at it. In other words, it can't be targeted by torrential freaking Gearhulk. Good. I don't think giant 13 damage meteors were what they were referring to when they wrote the word torrential. So just because of the artwork, the 13 damage, and the suspend where your opponent's like sweating it out while it's, getting time counters removed from it, I just love everything about this card, even though it's just not that great of a card. It's just so awesome in general. I had to put it in the overlooked but awesome series. And plus, you want to talk about overlooked, it was basically printed once. Dual decks, okay, but it was only ever in one set, really, Planar Chaos, and that was a while ago. So if you're running some kind of red direct damage, something, whatever, go for it. Oh, by the way, I believe at the beginning of the video I alluded to some particular combos. Now, I'm sure you've heard this saying, amongst Magic players, if you've been playing for a while. It's all fun and games with comically high damaging spells until somebody casts Soulfire Grandmaster. I know I've heard that saying at least once, because I just played it back in Audacity. Instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. What? So I can blow up something with comically high levels of damage and then gain 13 life off it. Oh, sign me up for that one. By the way, if you want the mother of all beastly cards, this is from an earlier OBA video. This is the king of cards to use with Soulfire Grandmaster, Burn at the Stake. Every time I read what that card does, it makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Also, I had like a lot of Taco Bell today. But anyway, the star of the show this time around is Shivan Meteor. Hopefully you can find a place for it in your deck if you're building a not-so-serious deck. And even if you are building a serious deck, it's not that bad of a spell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.